Hello everybody and welcome back to my Linux tutorials on servers and networking. Today I'm going to go over what is a LAMP cluster in Ubuntu. Now, I'm going to be building a virtual LAMP cluster because I want to see how it is going to work with if I have real equipment. And the level of understanding if you're a computer user is, I would say, intermediate to advanced. And you have to know Linux, you have to know some basic commands, and um, some networking too that will help you build a cluster. Now, what is a cluster? Well, a cluster is basically uh, it's two computers minimally that provide multiple services to client computers, like a workstation running Windows or Linux. And the idea of having a cluster is, if let's say one server goes down, the same services that that server was running, it'll be available on the next server that's set up in the cluster. And you can grow your cluster as needed. And it provides redundancy and highly availability of the network services. So I'm going to switch here to a website that will help me explain this a little bit better and somewhat visually rather than just talking to you. So I'm going to go here to help.ubuntu.com/community/highly available lamp. Okay. And as you can see here, you have two servers. Okay, they both have an operating system. They both have what's called LAMP data. Now, what LAMP stands for: Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And these systems offer, as you can see, they're designed with two of everything. Like, for example, they're designed with two NICs right here, ETH0 and ETH1, and then ETH2 and 3 are your replication for the DRBD, which is a program which allows you to create like a fan that's an iDisk, excuse me, like a iSCSI over the network, and basically the operating system will treat this as a real hard drive. But when it's used over the network, it's being used as a way to replicate data between servers. So let's say if I have a big website that says it's on WordPress, and I make changes to this server, well, it's going to replicate through this bond here, which to the second server. And if, let's say, one day this server goes down completely, or several components, then I have my data on this one. This is a good method if you have a website that absolutely cannot go down for whatever reason. Now, this does not mean that you have to not only do your backups, still do your backups normally, because you never know when you need them, and still run backups on your servers, employing clients, and that type of equipment too. I'm going to switch back to my presentation here. So I've discussed what is a LAMP cluster. Hardware requirements, basically, I recommend using real server hardware, but if you're in a tight budget, then you can build your own server. Typically, you want to have um, minimum 2 network cards per each server, um, 2 hard drives, and depending how you set up the RAID, I would say, let's say, RAID 1, and a gigabit network in place for this, because this would take up a lot of your bandwidth. Not internet, but bandwidth just going from one server to the other, copying data back and forth, back and forth. And what else? Software requirements. You can do this on a Windows server, I think R2, Enterprise Edition, and higher. I'm using Linux here because, quite frankly, it's free, and quite frankly, you know, it's 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 easier for me to set up. Even though there's a lot of documentation that you have to carefully read, I find it much more friendly to, I think, from an administration standpoint. For the design, I'll be using something like this. I'm not gonna put 4NICs on as a virtual machine, but I'll just use 2. And I'll be using a similar design like this, so it'll help me set up these 2 virtual servers, which I'm gonna be doing on this computer that I'm setting up the presentation on. So this is just an introduction of what's to come in around Sunday when I make more videos on how to set this up. And again, I'm using virtual machines, and I'm doing it from scratch. I wouldn't set up a cluster on a production server. Definitely, I wouldn't do that. Simply because it's critical that production is up. But if you're really interested in it, just start off with the virtual machines. If you have the equipment to spare on setting up a cluster, go ahead and by all means use it. But I feel that using a virtual machine helps you to plan it out how is it going to be, so you can take that plan and actually effectively do it on a real server environment. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.